Well, I'm going to shift focus to what we are going to be discussing over the next half hour, and this has got to do with that little bit of political uncertainty, or I would say political pressure on West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. There was a massive storm over the RG car rape and murder case, but this has been going on for a month, and there has been anger which is still going on against the state government. Protests have been taking place from the epicenter of Kolkata. It has spread to many other parts of Bengal and in many other parts of the country as well. But what has come as a massive setback to the Trinamool Congress is when earlier today, Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament Jawhar Sircar, he was seen as that man who was a chairperson of Prasar Bharati at one point of time. He was also seen as an intellectual aspect of the TMC, that very aggressive, at times controversial voice inside the Rajya Sabha for the Trinamool Congress. He has now decided to quit Parliament as well as politics. But before doing so, he wrote a lengthy, scathing letter to Mamata Banerjee. He made many startling allegations. He says that the state government has failed to handle the RG car case and too little has been done. He also went on to say that Chief Minister has failed to directly intervene in the matter at an appropriate time, as a result of which there has been unprecedented anger against the state government. But what is even more shocking is that he says that every time he wanted to speak out about corruption by some of the TMC leaders, he was heckled and silenced by the party leadership. Well, caught on the back foot, the Trinamool Congress did respond to a letter. It said that it was Jawhar Sircar's personal decision, but we don't want to criticize him. TMC said that it respects whatever Jawhar Sircar has said, that the party is working to resolve the issues raised by a member of parliament. But the BJP is not quiet. It, of course, predictably has hit back. It also says that Jawhar Sircar's resignation should actually be a cue for Mamata Banerjee to step down, as she has failed to maintain law and order and also give assurance to the doctors and to the young people as well as people of Bengal that all will be well. Jawhar Sircar is echoing thoughts of many other senior TMC leaders like Sukhendu Shekhar Roy and Shantanu Sen, who have spoken out against their own government and party often in the wake of this crime which has shaken the conscience of the nation. So this is the big question I am asking. Amidst the raging war of words which are taking place between the BJP and the TMC, has Mamata Banerjee been cornered by her own people over what is being seen as glaring lapses in the RG car rape and murder case? That's the big debate I'm going to go ahead with this evening.
It indicates that today the Trinamool Congress is in neck-deep corruption, that every institution has been corrupted by the Trinamool Congress. And when anybody raises these issues of corruption, they are silenced and heckled.
जवाहर सरकार का जो लेटर का जो कंटेंट है, जो क्वेश्चंस है, उसके एक बड़ा पार्ट के साथ हम लोग भी सहमत हैं।
Okay, so my special guest joined me this evening, Tuhin Sinha, national spokesperson of the BJP, Professor Manojit Mandal, political analyst, and Pranay Agarwal, political analyst. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. I'm going to begin with you first, Professor Manojit Mandal. Is there a reason why Mamata Banerjee needs to be worried? Because here the criticism is not coming so much from outside, it's begun to come in from within the party. Isn't this a wake-up call for the Chief Minister?
I think that the party from within has been fighting this very issue. None other than Mamata Banerjee herself talked about issues, local issues and corruption since 2021. And on that particular issue, the party also had a thumping majority in 2021. You saw that one particular minister, very, apparently second in rank in the cabinet, Partha Chatterjee, was suspended within a span of 3 days of his going to jail. There are many such leaders who are in jail and are suspended. Another minister, Jyoti Pramullik, was recently arrested. He was also suspended. So it's not that the party is not taking any action. However, I think the TMC will definitely respect such a decision by Mr. Jawhar Sircar. But my personal opinion is that this is extremely ill-timed and aimless. He is a very senior bureaucrat. You should understand that he was trying to fight the communal forces. If you read the letters, he has also said that the BJP is a party of big-ticket corruption, the party of multi-billionaire corruption, and he wanted to fight the communal forces led by none other than Mr. Narendra Modi. I want to ask him very humbly, is this the right time to leave the party when the party is in some kind of trouble because of the issues which we all know? We are all looking for justice, and we believe that since the Supreme Court has seized up the matter, justice will really be delivered. I really don't understand why and how the party or the government was terribly wrong in handling the case when the CBI could not do anything new.
Okay.
Or
Professor
much
Manjuji Mandal,
beyond
I got
what
your
the
point.
Kolkata police
I'm not
last
going to
25
indulge in
years.
whataboutery over here. My point is that if Jawhar Sircar wants to leave, I guess he has a right to leave, but you're questioning the timing.
Absolutely.
Let me go across. Okay, let me go across to Mr. Tuhin Sinha. Tuhin, just tell me something. I obviously, as a political party and as an opponent of Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool Congress, BJP would be celebrating this move of Jawhar Sircar.
Well, good evening, Pallavi. Good evening, everybody. The
Good
BJP
evening.
is not celebrating. For the last 30 days, I think, we have not seen an outrage of this magnitude where every day the outrage seems to be growing. And now, in fact, the TMC MPs seem to be outraged. If you closely look at the contents of the letter of Mr. Sircar, it is a very clear indictment of Mamata Banerjee, especially one of the points where he mentions that, corrupt officers are being given top postings. Who is he hinting at? Obviously, he's hinting at Sandeep Ghosh. He is hinting at Vineet Goyal. We have seen in the last 1 month that maximum corruption in the TMC government has been carried out through two specific departments, the police department and the health department, both of which come directly under Mamata Banerjee. And hence, after this letter, the buck, in fact, we have been saying this before also, but I think it's about time that Mamata Banerjee realizes the extent of depravity which her government has indulged in the last 4 weeks, and I think she should quit. Nothing short of that will redeem the situation in Bengal.
Okay, Pranay Agarwal, I want to get you in at this point of time. See, Mamata Banerjee and all of us who've tracked her, she's an extremely astute and shrewd politician. She's actually best when she's pushed to the wall. But do you think, even at this point of time, given the chips and odds which seem to be against her, do you think it's going to be very difficult for her to come out of this situation? And is a downslide of the TMC begun?
I honestly feel, Pallavi, that this RG car protest could be Mamata Banerjee's Waterloo, right? Please appreciate the culture, the political culture in TMC has become so toxic that even those who are indebted to Mamata Banerjee for their entire political careers and have no relevance beyond the party, like Jawhar Sircar, they are also leaving the sinking ship which TMC has become. So the rot in the TMC really appears to be deep and frankly beyond redemption. Right, and it clearly reflects that her own people have lost confidence in the government that she's heading. So it has really laid bare how the government is, his letter particularly, how her government is corrupt and morally bankrupt. And I suspect that more are likely to follow, right? Such kind of, at least there should be several other colleagues of his who should, break their silence, and otherwise their silence only reveals a hypocrisy to their commitment to so-called, gender justice and democratic values.
Okay. Professor Manojit Mandal, do you think Jawhar Sircar should have raised the issues which he's raised instead of in the letter, which was of course released to the media internally, though however he has been claiming that every time he tried to do so, he was silenced. But there are just too many people who are now speaking out and they are not in sync with the party line. Shukendra Shekhar Roy, then you have Dr. Shantanu Hussain, you have now of course Jawhar Sircar. There is a sense of discomfort. That's my one question. Very quickly on this, are we missing the plot? Is there some kind of a churning which is taking place inside the TMC? Is it Abhishek Banerjee who is now emerging and he wants a kind of purging of the old Mamata Banerjee loyalists or people who were chosen by her?
Pallavi, you and I know that corruption is an endemic in this country, irrespective of the political parties. I don't even want to name the party, the leaders who are taking money in TMC. They are now being lapped up by BJP, Shubhendu Adhikari, and there are so many such leaders. So corruption is a general and endemic issue in this country. And Mr. Jawhar Sircar also raised this issue, and quite rightly so. But to link that with this particular issue, which is, I think, it is somewhat, inexplicable to me. I mean, has this brutal rape and murder happened because of corruption? In that case, the CBI should also be answerable, because, there are two parallel cases are going on. Sandeep Ghosh was arrested because of corruption charges, and there is another accused who was arrested because of the rape and murder. Are these two linked? Let us understand this. I think Mr. Jawhar Sircar is right.
You raise both the points. See, when we are talking about Sandeep Ghosh, the principal of RG Corps, we are also talking about a corruption, and who knows? We are waiting for the CBI's report.
Yes.
Who knows? Maybe it's linked.
Yes, he should have also waited for that. In fact, let me tell you this: we are hearing that Mamata called Mr. Jawhar Sircar, this evening to reconsider his decision. We all like to do that. He was not in the party 3 years back. He was appearing on TV channels in 2021. And then I think we all respect him, the kind of bureaucrat that he was. But is this the time for you, sir, to leave? When the party needs a sane voice like yours, you should reconsider your decision. And he's also acknowledged that the party has given this position, despite the fact that he has no contribution to the party at large before 2021. So he should reconsider this decision. If he's really wanting politics to be corruption free, this kind of people should be there. But this is not the time.
Okay.
I repeat, if he's trying to fight the communal forces, this is an absolutely aimless resignation.
In the name of finding communal forces, how long do you keep quiet? Mrs. Sinha, I want to ask you this question. These are troubling times. Clearly in Kolkata, in parts of Bengal, these are troubling times. At this point of time, to say that a chief minister should step down, is that really the way ahead? I mean, after all, that Aparajita bill was something which was supported even by the BJP inside the West Bengal Assembly.
Yes.
Please understand that, the way she has been operating, in the last 4 weeks, she has not been operating as the chief minister. She has been operating, I'm sorry to use the word, but she has been operating as the head of a crime syndicate. And she is the problem. The moment she quits, you will see a saner, person taking over. Can you imagine that the health sector was the hub of corruption activities of TMC? And I'm surprised that, like Mr. Sircar has mentioned the strong arm tactics of certain TMC leaders. But, the strong arm tactics seem to be evident even among panelists. If he has to make a call, if the panelist has to make a call to Mr. Sircar, he can discuss why Mr. Sircar made it public. But fact is that some people, even though they may be small in numbers, still have a voice of conscience, which a majority of TMC leaders do not. Look at the charges which have come up against Sandeep Ghosh subsequently. The morgue manager spoke to a television channel saying that, he had a business of plucking out body parts from dead bodies and smuggling them. If these are the charges leveled against somebody who was the dean of a college in the heart of Calcutta, I'm afraid the corruption runs into unimaginable.
I will come back to you, Manojit. I'm going to get in a word. Let me get in a word from Mr. Pranay Agarwal before I come back to you, Manojit. Yes, Mr. Pranay Agarwal, what is it? Do you think that Mamata Banerjee needs to resign at this point of time, just based on Jawhar Sircar's allegations and whatever the BJP may be saying?
Pallavi, the government is clearly in the dock, the state government, and the state administration has, to say the very least, been complicit in the cover-up of the rape and murder at the RG Corps hospital. And Sarkar's letter has clearly highlighted the corruption in the government. So it at least calls for a very free and fair probe into these very serious allegations. These are literally from the horse's mouth, and it is like an insider's account of the goings on in the West Bengal administration. So his resignation has also highlighted the complicity of TMC members in potentially covering up or downplaying significant governance failures.
Okay.
So, yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you here, because, we are seeing up on our screens, and this is all connected to what we were discussing. There are these very powerful pictures, Reclaim the Night. Those kind of protests are still continuing. It's going to be a month. But despite the month, having passed by, the wounds have clearly not healed. Earlier today, I also saw those pictures of the parents of the girl crying and asking for justice. I'm sorry, but Mr. Manoj Mondal, you wanted to say something, but very, very quickly.
Just 10 seconds. No, the corruption cases, Pallavi, Sharda cases are going on for years. What is the conviction? If these people are corrupt, not even charge sheeted, the people who are in jail because of Sharda case, Madan Mitra, the minister, not even a charge sheet. And what are we talking about? If they are corrupt people, let them be in jail forever. But no.
Yeah, but let me tell you something, Mr. Manoj Mondal. When they were sent to jail, at that point of time, the Trinamool Congress said that they are innocent. Initially, that's how they began, and then they said that this is political witch hunt. And since when has some people behind jail? Some people behind jail. How can that be a license to not stop corruption in other ways as well? But Mr. Tuhin Sinha, we see these pictures, and I know it's not that. I'm just taking a point which the TMC raises. It's not that rape and these incidents are happening only in West Bengal. It's happening in many states which are also governed by the BJP. I know this sounds like whataboutery, but at the end of the day, caught in this whataboutery, the real issue is lost, and that is about justice and making us women safe.
You need to get your focus right over here. It's not about rape. Yes, rapes happen in every state. It's about the political protection given to criminals, dreaded criminals, and those accused. In this particular case, twice over, an attempt was made to destroy evidence. First, on the very first day when Sandeep Ghosh tried to pass it off as a suicide, and then on the night of 14th August, where 7,000 goons were sent to destroy evidence. So I think it's about the political protection, unabashed and unprecedented political protection, which TMC has extended to the culprits or alleged culprits, which India has not seen before.
Okay. Mr. Pranav Agarwal, do you see the Aparajita bill, the way the women TMC MPs are being fielded, like Mahua Moitro and others, Sagorika Ghosh, and all of them are going on and they're keeping on attacking the CBI, they're attacking the Prime Minister. Do you see this just as a kind of a damage control and a deliberate diversion of attention from the real issue and the real problem which Mamata Banerjee's government is facing?
I would say this is bravado and very misdirected bravado, because it will blow in their faces. So these, when the party is fielding them, it is only exposing the liberal facade of the party for what it really is, which is like a hollow and meaningless pretense. So it is, one wonders how long till other so-called liberals and self-proclaimed spokespersons of women and torchbearers of women's rights, till how long will they defend the indefensible in Bengal, right? So there's silence and siding with Mamata Banerjee on the issue is very, very striking, and irrespective of the fact that Bengal has sent maximum women MPs to Lok Sabha or has the sole female chief minister in the country, it has a dismal record on women's safety. And selective activism, selectively talking about issues, it clearly suggests that this is a political strategy instead of genuine concern over women's safety or liberal principles. So I would say it clearly prompts a deep introspection from the members and supporters of so-called liberal members and supporters of the TMC.
Okay.
Another thing.
Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
The TMC government, look at the audacity, it was trying to trivialize the people's movement as a BJP-sponsored agitation.
Okay.
Right? The protests were clearly driven by public anger, and the sentiment was against the lax law enforcement in the state.
Okay. Mr. Tuhin Sinha, I just want to ask you this question. We're really running out of time. At the end of the day, it's people's power which matters. I'm not going to sound here as I'm being defensive of anyone. I'm just putting the facts. Sandesh Khali was projected as one big moment where the people are going to teach a lesson to Mamata Banerjee, but we saw what happened in the Lok Sabha elections. There would be by-polls coming up in Bengal as well. The fact that she's able to bounce back, the fact that she wins those by-polls, do you see at the end of the day, the BJP seems to be not gauging the entire situation correctly?
Well, honestly, on this particular issue, we are not even thinking about the electoral fallout. The fact is, Mamata Banerjee's underbelly, the one which she has been presiding over for the last many years, that stands exposed. She has lost the trust of the people. She has lost respect of the people. That's more important. And that you can see. I don't recall, you've been a journalist for many, 2 decades. When would you recall the last time you had a 30-day protest where every day the outrage has only grown and not
Last word to Manoj Mondal quickly. We don't have time. Manoj, please, very briefly.
I think we salute most of the protesters. They're extremely articulate in their demand. But Pallavi, you have to give it to the police. For the last 1 month, there have been protests.
Let's talk about the government. I'm talking about Mamata Banerjee as a chief minister. It's not an easy situation for her. Something obviously has gone wrong.
BJP, except BJP and the political motivated some of the CPI. I mean, nobody is asking for her resignation. Why should she resign?
Okay.
In that case, please look at them. They are extremely
okay. I'm out of time now.
structure.
I'm out of time, and I'm sure this
politics.
Okay.
They will try to play politics.
Okay.
They're trying to create a situation where they can have 356.
Okay.
My friend was not talking about politics, but
fair enough.
For 356.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you very much, Mr. Pranay Agarwal. Thank you very much, Professor Monojit Mondal, and thank you very much, Mr. Tuhin Sinha. Well, I don't think the story is yet over. It's going to be 1 month of the RG Kaur rape murder case. The CBI report to be submitted to the Supreme Court. Are things getting worse for Mamata Banerjee, or can she bounce back? That's the big question I leave you with this evening. Thank you so much for watching.